Greetings, beloveds. It's Amy Karen Johnson, the Earth Channel, here joined today by my pup, Newt, snoozing on the couch. And I have another message from Gaia for you today. Last week, we talked a lot about duality and sort of tried to cram a lot into that message. And so today, I'd like to go back and talk a little bit more about a couple of details that we skipped over. So right now, the sun is still in that position that would signify that point between equinox and solstice, known as Samhain or Day of the Dead. And it would last for about 5-6 days. And in the hexagrams, the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, which are overlaid on that zodiac, that position is signified by the number 1. It's the first hexagram, and those 6 lines of that hexagram are all yang, all solid lines. And then if you look, and I'll put this up again, the opposite hexagram from there is in the human design way of overlaying these hexagrams over the zodiac. You'll find the earth there, and those lines are all yin. And so it's a time of quite a bit of polarization, and I probably don't need to tell you that. You've probably already noticed yourselves, but that sort of helps explain why. And with that polarization oftentimes comes a lot of seriousness, a lot of angst, and last week we also talked about trauma. So Gaia wanted me today to lighten things up, and so she helped me write a poem to share with you. So here goes. As we speak of duality, we could go on and on. Relatively speaking, we will always have short and long. We may perceive that one is here and the other is gone, and one way to try to sum it up is to think of yin and yang. You may have come to see them as male and female, or you may have focused on the dark versus the pale. God forbid you assumed that they are but good and bad, for only with both can true balance ever be had. As we look at the 64 hexagrams all in a circle, we notice many clues to tell us about our world. Each one has 6 lines, each line either yin or yang, and opposite, those lines flip, yang to yin or yin to yang. Right now our sun is in the position with all lines solid, while our earth is in all broken lines from this perspective, which makes each of us the bridge between these two, our feet planted on the ground and our heads stretching into the blue. But for us to actualize the fullness of all we are, we must embrace the unity found from pebbles to the stars. We cannot do this if we are too serious and down, nor can we succeed if we always laugh and clown around. We must find the middle path, like wise old Buddha knew, building our house upon a rock and then expanding anew. We all need a home and food upon our plates. Yet we also need the freedom to dream and to create. This Eden we seek is not so far away, if only we allow our love and our hearts to win the day. So I hope you enjoyed that poem. It was meant to be playful, and obviously I did read it, but poetry is a little harder to challenge and make it rhyme, or a little harder to channel, and to also make it rhyme while channeling. That comes a little bit more from our humanity, that rhyming, that playfulness. As I have said before, it is just as important to Gaia, she has shared with me, for me to share how I incorporate her wisdom into my life, as it is just for her wisdom by itself. And so that's what I always endeavor to do. And as a way to help ground this wisdom, this playfulness into our bodies, which I think we could all really use right now, I do have some infinite movement and stillness to share as well. So you'll recognize some of these movements as being a little bit from traditional yoga, and then you'll probably see some variation from there. So we're going to begin with a breath in, and we're going to do a little bit of seated cat-cow. So breath in goes with the cow posture and sort of arching our backs. And then exhale into cat. Curving forward. Again, inhale back, exhale forward. Last one, inhale back, exhale forward. Now for a little variation, we're going to go side to side. And for this one, you can breathe normally, but do breathe. Focus as much on the contraction on each side as you do on the stretching on the other side. And last set here. And to finish this off, we're going to do some rotations in a circle. And it's not just my head moving here, but also my body, as we did with the others, and then switch direction. Inhaling as we go back, exhaling forward. And I hope that this has helped to loosen you up a little bit, make things feel a little playful, and even open our hearts. Don't forget, we're still in that period where the head and ajna are defined, and so we can get a little bit stuck in our heads right now, even more so than we normally would this time of year when the sun is in that first hexagram with all the yang. And so it's nice to remember to drop our awareness down into our bodies, down into our hearts, and also to ground into Mother Earth. To feel her supporting us, remembering that she is in that second hexagram now with all the yin lines. She is reminding us, grounding us in that receptive energy, that energy that allows us to rest and simply to receive, to be cared for, to receive that universal love from Source. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, love, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube in particular, subscribe, like, and if you're on Facebook, please love if you feel moved. And join me in Earth, Tree, Sun, where we explore these concepts often. Namaste, beloveds.